all of us are ascending. The solar system, the cosmos, the universe where we are in this galaxis, we are all ascending to a next best level of ourselves. This is why the Lemurians can hardly wait, because it means that humanity will once upon a time be a starring humanity again. Here I speak my words again.
Hello dear friends, today
everybody.
We're talking to Adama. He's already entered Esther's channel. Adama is the high priest of Lemuria in Inner Earth, and you can look up pictures of him in the internet. He's a tall master.
And this is the typical Lemurian greeting. Left hand on the heart, right hand saluting like this.
Welcome, dear Master Adama. Good to speak to you again.
It's been some time, yeah. Sometimes it takes a little while before a being is fully settling into my energy bodies. I use my jaws to shake them a bit loose, so they can speak freely. And with channeling, I always say I go more to the back seat, and the being that I allow into my channel is more in the front seat. But I'm always aware of who comes in, and I allow them access to my channel of light. They kind of step in on a loop of my breath.
Welcome.
Here. Here I speak. Adama is my name. Every time you think of me, I feel a peaceful feeling inside my heart. Many of us Lemurians are being thought upon relatively frequently these days. Many of the beings, we can call you family, our brothers, our sister humanoid beings here on the crust, you live the life that we once upon a time also lived on the crust of Mother Earth. Every time you feel what would it be like to be of my grandest version of a humanoid, you can get more deeply into touch with us as a Lemurian. Your Lemurian ancestors are never far away. We never left this globe, and we are housing in the realms of Inner Earth. This kind dear friend of us has already shared with you. We live in Telos. It's an underground city. We believe it is localized underneath the Shasta mountain, but we also have dependencies, so to say, or dependences that are cities of light spread around the globe where other Lemurian cities are housing. We are often to be found nearby light workers and healers who wish to connect also with their grandiosity once again. Every time you are connecting with your own higher self, know that this is a signal for us as Lemurians to come a tiny step closer and to feel, is this channel ready to start serving more and more with the Lemurian friends by his or her side. We see many more humans these days are awakening to their grandiosity. Many more humans these days are searching for something that they have forgotten about, but they have not realized what that was. Every time you feel deep inside yourself, I'm also searching and I'm not so sure what it really is, you might want to be in touch with your Lemurian ancestors. You do not even have to reach out for beings living on the stars, coming from far. You can just simply reach out to your own ancestry, your own lineage of Lemurian ancestors. We are here to serve you through these ascensional times. Every time that you feel in the urge to seek out enlightenment, to support on your side something else that brings you to a higher vibration, we are there to serve you. Every time you feel it's such a difficult time right now, I can't do it by myself, call upon us. Just call upon us, and you might sense there is a being standing in front of you, making this kind salutation as a kind dear greeting, a reverence and acknowledgement of meeting once again. Adama is my name. I believe this kind dear friend of ours might still have a question related to this topic. May I ask you, is this the case?
Yes, of course, dear Adama. Of course. So maybe you want to say a little bit how many Lemurians are living in Inner Earth, and when did you descend to Inner Earth?
Here I speak my words. Numbers are something that seems to be very important to many humans. When I want to ask you, how are you doing as a humanoid being, would it matter how many humanoids there are? Personally, numbers are not so relevant to me, but I understand it can be important that you get a feeling of how big is the Lemurian ancestry. We are many millions these days, many millions spread around the globe. We are not billions, but we are many millions. You could say 500 million, it's a bit more, a bit less. Millions of us are spreading the globe. We are not even pluralizing in number, but our number tries to remain fairly constant. We try to build bridges of light towards the crust. If our numbers would increase too much, we ascend or not ascend, we word lacking, we try to not stimulate or fast forward the ascension process by our presence. This is why we try to remain relatively stable. Many millions is our number. Every time that you wish to know more about us, you can just step into our energy field and you will get answers from the field. Was there similar knowingness inside you already? Did you feel it's more thousands, it's millions, it's billions? What was your feeling about this?
Actually, I was pretty off. I would have thought you're around 1 million maybe. So it's beautiful to hear that there are so many of you in Inner Earth. So you descended after the fall or before the fall of Lemuria, is that correct?
Here I speak, this is correct. Many of us have been living beautiful, gorgeous lifetimes on the crust. At the time we were not so many, and when Lemuria sank is not the right word, when we left the continent, you could say, we went underground, and through several tunnel structures we have been spreading around this globe. We also have been using craft. You cannot call them extraterrestrial craft because they were made from our own perspective on the globe, but they serve similar purposes, and we have the ability to streamline ourselves through the earth, so to say, through the soils of Gaia. We use our own type of craft to do this. Every time a Lemurian wants to go from A to B, we have a special way how to project ourselves. We can do it like this in a very etheric format. However, we can also do it by going into one of our craft and moving through the soils of Gaia. We have found ways to, so to say, make matter dematerialize in exactly the place where we need to be. As soon as we are through, matter returns right behind our craft. It's a very easy and non-complex way of transport, and it is very suitable for many inner earth civilizations. Many inner earth civilizations are living these days in the crusts of this beautiful home planet, and we would love to introduce many of them to you that we are working and cohabitating with. It is not always possible to put name tags to them. They don't often carry names that can be easily pronounced pronunciated, just like you might not know all the colors or all the names of all flowers and trees around the globe. It can be the same like this. Many different races exist, not just from the stars, but also inside the crust of your mother planet. I could say our mother planet. We all habitat her equally blended. Impossible, I mean to say, words to be rephrased. It's as equally important to us to see this planet as our mutual home planet. Is there any more things that I can comment on right now? You have called me for this reason. It is very, very, very important for us to start shedding and spreading more of our presence on this globe. If you feel this is important to me as a channel to understand more of the Lemurians, many books have been written about us. If you look onto my name, you will find many, many things. See to it that you feel truthful to your heart when you pick the information that comes to you. Many things have been shared around the globe. What is suitable for you right now, your heart will let you know.
Yeah, you already answered another question that I had. So that's not only humanoids living in inner Earth. We know of reptiloid races, kind reptilians that live in inner Earth. Any other species that you want to refer to that live in inner Earth?
Here I speak my words. Adama is my name. Many different creatures. You can hardly imagine the variety of beings that is living and habitating inner Earth. Some of them look humanoid, but they have different colors. Their colors are blue or green, or sometimes even a very vague yellow, almost a pale skin, but it is a bit of a color still. Some of them have very pointy eyes like this, almost like you could say of extraterrestrials, but they have never been from the stars. They have always lived inside this globe. Some of them have very, very, very sharp noses. Others have no neck. Some of them have feathers. Others of them have long hairs. It can be totally, totally different. Everything you can imagine, you could almost say. Not completely, but almost. It is almost all possible. Most of the creatures housing in inner Earth are kind deer races. Sometimes they live fairly secluded, but right now there is a big movement going inside this globe that many of the tribes and nations living there are searching contact with one another. They feel together we can synergize and build more momentum in the global ascension process. Ascension is not just something for humanity, even though humanity might need it the hardest. It is ascension for everyone involved, not just for the beings living here on this beautiful planet or inside her crust, but also the beings who are living outside of these realms and have been governing you for eons in time. All of us are ascending the solar system, the cosmos, the universe where we are in this galaxis. We are all ascending to a next best level of ourselves. This is why the Lemurians can hardly wait, because it means that humanity will once upon a time be a starring humanity again. There will be many more chakra centers that will start to become active also in the two of you, dear friends. Lots have opened already, but much more is still possible. Keep connecting with your high dimensional cosmic background, with your highest divine purest essence, and you will start to see I keep developing, I keep climbing, so to say, to the next level of my presence. Every time that you feel I can't do this by myself, this is normal. We ascend all together. Call upon our help.
Thank you so much, Adama. Yes, that's beautiful, and I can confirm it's beautiful to call you from Lemuria for help, and it's such a beautiful feeling to reconnect with you. One of the biggest questions I think we have as humanoids living on the crust: how long will that still last, that we live in a kinder world? Because currently we have a little bit of a nicer summer, but there might be another wave of restrictions coming up. What would you like to share on this topic, Adama?
Here I speak my words. Adama does not worry about time frames, but this is easy for beings living in a fifth, sixth dimensional perspective. For us, time is not so linear anymore. We are already living in this divine field where all things are perfectly timed. It does not even feel like timing anymore. Things are just flowing in their most natural, abundant way. Humanity might start sensing also there is a speeding up of time. Time has a different concept these days, it has a different feel to it. This is what ascending does. The ones who are ascending rapidly feel time is lost somewhat. It does not exist the way it used to be. It's a symptom of ascending. This is one of the first symptoms that also the ones who are still relatively asleep will start to sense. They might not figure out how to fill their days. I mean this the other way around, how to finish everything they want to do in one day, because the days are speeding by. Time becomes differently perceived. It's an ascension symptom. Many of these things will be added on. It can set to be, it is already taking place. The ascension is in motion. Humanity is becoming lighter. All these things are true. It might take another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 100 years is not what I mean to say. Of course, the ascension is continuously taking place, but as far as we can look at it from our kind perspective, we see the next 4 or 5 years are crucial years in stabilizing the kinder timeline for humanity. As soon as a kinder timeline has been stabilized, and for this we need actually some wobbliness to occur to really start breaking free from the old, the limiting, constricting paradigms, then there will be a next shift in which humanity will start to sense more and more living from the heart. It is returning to humanity, not just to make choices from the head, but mostly to listen deep within. What do I really want from me and my loved ones? As soon as humans are starting to realize it's not just about money or career or the very far future ahead, they start to sense more, I want to feel good right now. Everybody around me seems to be ill or something is happening. I do not wish that for myself. How can I treat myself well in this here and now moment? The more people will start to realize that here and now is the only true moment, there will come new jumps to the ascension process. It's a matter of a few more years in a lot of wobbliness. After that, we feel the timeline of stability and kindness will truly arise.
Thank you, dear Adama. So besides connecting more with you, is there any other suggestion you want to give to all of us?
Here I speak my words. Adama can give you 3 kind examples of how to proceed in these ascensional times. 3 examples that lead to some sort of a way of integrating more kindness of heart in your daily activities and your daily lives. It might not even come to a surprise, the 3 things that I will be sharing with you, but these 3 things also for us sped us up to living in a higher dimensional place. 3 things. Are you ready that I share?
Yes, please, Adama.
Here I speak my words. As a master of light, I can say we are all equally important arenas in this field. What I mean to say with this is everyone is looked upon as equally important, equally heartfelt persons, also the ones who annoy us, who seem to be very much asleep, who are very in the dualistic point of view, not doing such kind things. See if you can perceive everything from a heart-based perspective. It seems easy, but most of the time when something occurs in your daily life, we tend to fall out of it, we start to judge it, we start to doubt ourselves, we start to become angry at other people. See if we can stay heart-focused. Heart focus does not mean you have to cover things up with light and not talk about it. It means to say, I try to keep my heart open for whatever occurs, whatever I see on the news, whatever my partner just told me, whatever my kids do or do not do. See if you can stay anchored in a heart-based perspective. This is my first suggestion, and it might be the only real, true, essenced perspective for true enlightenment or ascension. See to it that the heart remains open and choose upon that which is occurring. Don't try to negate the dark, allow it to be felt through, and then pass on with your daily life. My second suggestion for everyone who wants to ascend in a nice, comfortable way, besides keeping the heart-based perspective, see to it that you try to open your third eye in a nice, kind way. How can you start to tickle your third eye so it does not only perceive the third dimension, things that have been materialized and can be looked upon with the two normal physical eyes? It's important to start looking between dimensions, between the realms. Every time you feel I get too much sucked into my senses, into my hearing, into my eyesight mostly, but it can also be touch and smell and other things that bring you information and bring you a touch of reality, so to say. Every time you feel I identify with what I take in through my senses, close your physical eyes and start really tickling like this on your third eye. Once the third eye becomes more activated, you start to perceive other dimensional zones, other places where other types of beings reside with different types of wisdom and experience, and they can serve you in transcending your own pains and dramas. As soon as the third eye opens up, you start to recognize humanity is not the only inhabitant of this earth. Many other races coexist, such as elementals who are always here to attend to Mother Earth, such as inner earth creatures, star beings, they are all there, deceased ones who try to connect with you, angelic ones, all sorts of winged ones, they are there. The more you tickle your third eye in a kind way, the more you close your physical eyes and ears, the more you go inward to see if you can perceive different realities, you will start to tune your radio from 3D FM to 4, 5, 6, 7D FM. All the other dimensions, they become more available to you. This is my second suggestion for a kind, mellow transition towards a higher dimensional place. Really, literally, you can do it right now. Physically touch your third eye, rub it a bit, and ask it to show you what else is there.
So staying in the heart, opening the third eye.
Here I speak, that's correct. The third suggestion that we as Lemurians can highly recommend is to take in additional nutrition. Additional nutrition that awakens the third eye, that awakens the energy bodies. As Lemurians, once upon a time when we were still living on the crust, we were also fairly dense creatures. We felt there was more to the sun and to the cosmos than we were able to describe. We sensed some type of nourishment is naturally coming to us. We started to tune in very consciously into rays of the galactic sun, rays of certain cosmic orbiters when they were visible or not, it doesn't really matter, rays of the solar system that this earthly planet is involved in, for example Venusian rays or Mercurian rays. You can ask these rays to come to your third eye and inhale them into your presence. You inhale them in, you can store them in your belly, or if you feel I have a very energetic day, you can root them through your entire energy body. Call explicitly and consciously to feed yourself with these lines of light. This is one of the suggestions we like to make that supported us massively in our own ascensional awakening times. We still try to do this even though we don't have contact directly with this beautiful solar activity that you have on the crust. We have our own internal sun, you could say, and we are connecting in our way with different orbiters around this globe. We still do it, however it is a different formula, you could say. I highly recommend, since you are living on the crust, to really take these nutrients. They are real nutrients. Take them in. You can keep your eyes closed. Don't watch in the sun if you're not used to this yet, and especially not when she is very, very strong. Take it in, and store it somewhere in your belly or reroute it in your entire energy field. You will start to feel more and more invigorated. Something inside you almost starts to not crave, but automatically tune into these cosmic rays. They are always available. They are almost always for free, unless you are housing somewhere and you cannot really go outside. It is very, very, very important to take in these nutrients. They become stronger. The planet as itself is moving through these cosmic cycles right now, and these rays are only becoming stronger. Take them into your heart, take them into any area where you need healing, but when you start with this, mostly start taking them in from the third eye. The third eye is specialized in taking in specific frequencies of light. This is my recommendations for you, dear friend. How does that sound?
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm already doing the one and the other, and the third even. It's beautiful. And I know that Esther is doing more of it regularly, and she reduced her food intake a lot. And it's really amazing to see, even after a few days, she started to reduce her morning breakfast.
Thank you, dear. My words, this is correct. It truly is nutrients. You do not have to starve yourself, not, absolutely not. Make it a part of your diet and start feeling inside what shifts for you. You might start to sense all the breads and the pastas and the heavy food. It becomes less appealing, and you start to take smaller nibbles. It becomes more and more a lighter frequency that you start taking in, because your entire energy field shifts to a higher vibration. It's one of the highest and purest vibrations to be tapping into. This is why I highly recommend it to all of you. It is for free. Enjoy it to the max, and when you feel I am saturated, then let it settle for a moment. Just sit with it, so it can all find its way into your system. Don't immediately jump up and go on about the rest of your day. Let it settle 1, 2, 3 minutes in quietude. Let it find itself in your field, and then you can sort of start clicking open your eyes again. Tune into the third dimension where you still are based and still are living. However, you remember there is all these other cosmic dimensions that we also can tune into. The more you will start to nourish your third eye with these high qualities, the more also the eyes of the cosmos, so to say, will start to open and awaken inside you, and you will become more perceptive of other realities. I want to thank you for this opportunity to share a few things about our background. We have masterful healers always available to you in case you feel I feel a resonance with the Lemurians. I already know this salutation, this greeting of the Lemurians. You might already be working with us. Please just invite us closer by. We are really there to serve.
Thank you, dear Adama. As always, it's wonderful to speak to you. Thank you for coming to us and explaining.
Here I speak my words at last. It has been a wonderful pleasure. I know that your small daughter is very restful these days. We sometimes tune into her. She is such a wonderful darling of a doll. We would love to have her around again in Telos, but for now we believe it is important she integrates a lot of high dimensional source fields that she has been meeting in Shambhalic regions. Shambhala is a very important place these days. Also there holds, if you search for an anchor of light, hold the energy vibration of Shambhala close into your heart. It's where we all originate from, you could say. It's the highest possible energy field on this globe, and it's always residing in the humanoid hearts, in the Lemurian hearts. We are Shambhala, and Shambhala is us. Anchor your heart in the Shambhala consciousness, in the quality field of this high dimensional humanoid consciousness, and you will awaken in a much more easier and transcendable way. I want to greet you for now. My name is Adama. We all send you blessings. The Lemurians love you very dearly. We have never stopped loving you.
Thank you, Adama. That touches me. Thank you. Master Adama. Yeah, such a beautiful Grand Master, and like all the others, he's always available to us. And call upon him or other Lemurians. Read books about Inner Earth. There's so many exciting books. And maybe you sense this beautiful presence here. And he's referring to our little star daughter who lives in Inner Earth and sometimes visits him. And I think they once were a couple, but I'm not sure. He's teaching her very nicely from time to time. But they know each other since eons. Like maybe you do. Thank you for listening. Come and join us. We do regular events with star beings and other beings. We're happy to see you around us.
Namaste.